Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. We were looking at exception handling in Python, and in this video we are going to see how we can create our custom exceptions with the help of raise keyword. So without wasting any time, let us move to Python Visual Studio and see programmatically that how we can create our own exceptions. Right, so here we are going to see about custom exceptions, and we know that in Python exceptions are classes, right? So we know that the major or the super class is the base exception, and then there is exception and other classes, in the hierarchy. We have already seen that. So now in order to create our own exception, what we need to create first is a class, right? And let the name of the class be error, right? Now this is a class which we are creating. Now this is our own class, and in order to make it a valid exception class, we want it to actually inherit the higher class, which is the exception. Now we have seen the hierarchy, so this thing must be very clear to you all. And I do not want to write anything in this class, and here I will be cannot leave actually the class empty, so I will be writing the pass keyword inside it. Now, so what is the need that where we actually want to create our own exceptions, right? It is when the inbuilt exception classes are not enough, right? Because they are built as per the working of Python, right? Array index out, list index out of bound, or value error, or zero division error, right? So that are more programmatically. But maybe there is sometimes an issue that suppose there is a voting system, right? People go and vote for the government, and the limit of voting is about 18 years, right? So if the age is below 18, then the person is not eligible for voting, right? So in case it is the thing, then we need to raise an exception, right? Suppose a person is going for an exam, and the limit is of given the age limit of that exam is suppose 30, right? And the candidate is of 33 years, so he or she cannot appear in the exam. So there can be certain, day-to-day scenario in which there can is a requirement of raising an exception, right? So for this example, I will be making use of let's say a date of birth exception. That will be fine, and I will be making it to inherit the error class, right? And again, I'm not writing anything here also, so I will be writing pass over here. So here it is the simplest two classes. DOB exception is actually inheriting error, and error is inheriting exception, so it is a sort of multi-level inheritance, right? So now what I want is ask user to enter, let's say, year, right? So here I will be writing int input and asking enter the year of birth, right? So we have asked the user to enter the year of birth, and in order to calculate the age, we are going to subtract it from the current year. So the current year is 2021, so I will be subtracting this from year. Now if age is greater than or equal to 18, it's fine, you can attend the voting. So you can vote, very simple. Otherwise, if it is not the case, then else raise DOB exception, right? And one thing which I just forgot is to keep this whole thing, this whole if and else block inside your try block. Now why it is? Because we are raising an exception. See what happens. We studied that in try block there is an exception, right? So if I write in the try block print 10 divided by 0, there is an exception which is zero exception, right? Zero division error, and that get raised automatically, right? When I entered an string value for an integer, the value error is raised automatically because it is defined by Python, right? But the age is less than 18. It is something considerable in the real life scenario, right? So we need to raise the exception. Just as if I write 10 divided by 0, and this is going to raise zero division error, right? On its own, right? So here that the age is less than 18, right? It is going to raise this exception. Now when this exception is raised, we need an except block to catch it or to handle it, right? And here I am going to write a print statement to handle it, which says you are below 18 years, so cannot vote. Now this is how we actually handled the exception. So we raised the exception, the customized exception on our own with the help of the raise keyword. And when this try block is going to raise this DOB exception, this except block is going to catch it, right? Or handle it. Now let me just run the code and see what happens here. So the person is going to enter the date of birth. So let me first get 1989 something, and if I enter, you can see you can vote, working very fine. And if I enter, let's say it's 2021, so let's say 2018, right? And you are below 18, so you cannot vote, right? So that is how we are actually can create the customized exception in Python. So it is very easy, and that is the best example with which you can actually understand the working of the raise and the except block with the customized exception. I hope that you understood that how this particular scenario works, and for more such lectures on Python, stay tuned to my channel. Thank you.